I think that we can have a really good discussion about this. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, let me put up the tweet for you. And it's from Dave Burkett. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson said yesterday at his introductory press conference, or the other day, that the Detroit Lions roster is, quote, a little bit better than the Eagles' Super Bowl team. Now, you can say that's sour grapes. You could say he's just trying to impress his new team, whatever the case may be. I think you can look at that and have a debate about it, about just how good the Lions are getting. If they're there yet, if they're not there yet.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson said, what? You just going to like slide by that? He just didn't say,
go for it.
Better than the Philadelphia Eagles roster last year as they were constructed and went to the Super Bowl.
Go for it.
What? Quarterback-wise, who are the two quarterbacks in the NFC that you said you would take over Jared Goff? One of them plays for the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts.
One plays for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Their running back, Miles Sanders, much more consistent than what our backfield was last year. 17 touchdowns, I get that. But consistent play, much better at that position all around. Gainwell, Boston as well. What? The wide receiver position? A.J. Brown, year one with the Philadelphia Eagles, is the reason why they were in the playoffs. In the Super Bowl. What? Devontae Smith? We don't even have to go on the defensive side and talk about that. Lane Johnson that is one of the best tackles in the NFL. Jason Kelce is the best center in the NFL. And he's available, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. C.J. Gardner is just trying to endear himself to Detroit, which I love. I think it's smooth. It's cool. You're supposed to do these type of things, much like when Andre Iguodala goes to Miami and tells on ESPN that Duncan Robinson's the best three-point shooter he's ever seen, and he played with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. It's a good move by him. Let's be serious. You notice I didn't even mention the defense yet.
Listen, man.
Okay.
Hassan Reddick.
We don't. The Lions aren't the Eagles. But you know what? They're coming. They're coming. They don't have Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Put Jalen Hurts on the Lions, and then I would agree.
So is it all about the quarterback then?
I would.
No,
but is it all about the quarterback then? Because I think there's two spots. I think there's two spots. Looking at these depth charts, I think there's two spots the Eagles are better than the Lions. It's at quarterback and collectively at wide receiver. I think those two wide receivers.
Secondary.
Not anymore.
Think about what he's talking about. He said better than the Super Bowl roster, so technically he would still be on that team.
Yeah, but okay, I'm talking about now.
Currently right now.
They still got Slay and Bradbury.
Yeah.
Still got Slay and Bradbury.
But you got Mosley, Sutton, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Mosley's coming off ACL. We're still trying to figure out what it's going to be. I understand these are the kind of real conversations you got to have.
I know.
You think our offensive line is better than theirs?
I do think the Detroit Lions offensive line is better.
As good.
They have
collectively.
They got two guys that are going to the Hall of Fame right now. We got guys we think might go in the Hall of Fame. They got two guys right now that are going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think if you had the choice, especially with Graham Glasgow,
Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
Jason Kelce's the best in the NFL last 6 years.
Kelce will go to the Hall of Fame, I think.
And he won the Super Bowl, and he was like the voice of the Super Bowl when they won. So they'll throw him in there.
I think it's close.
Okay.
Like even if you give the nod
I don't
to Philly,
think it's laughable.
I think it's
You think our defensive
close.
line is better than theirs?
I think the defensive line is better than theirs.
Hassan Reddick had 17 sacks last year. Jordan Davis is going to be in the middle of this year.
Jordan Davis was a big time.
He was hurt.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's going to be.
Understood. I'll give you that. Just like
Jameson Williams. I don't know what he's going to be either.
I can give you that. Robert Quinn was on that team.
And to be honest with you, I am so uncertain about Jameson Williams. That's why I kind of am looking at wide receiver at 18, by the way, as a hedge.
Quentin Johnson. The one thing I can say that I can agree with, I can come to terms with in this comparison is this. The Lions are better constructed, I think. And I think the Lions are going for the long haul.
Yes.
Like the way that they're setting it up, I can give you the roster is better that way. The Lions players, they want to play for each other. They're building it together. When I look at the Eagles roster, you see how they just were plucking guys to try to get the Super Bowl last year. It does feel like a lot of guys that are, getting paid and pick and plug and, hey, let's try to get this dance. Like, they're not really Philadelphia Eagles. They're guys getting paid trying to win a championship on the Philadelphia Eagles until they go to the next team. I can give you that.
I just don't think it is Eagles here and Lions here. I mean, if you want to tell me that the Eagles have a better roster, fine. But I think it's real close.
But can I just say something real quick?
But the quarterback alone.
Who cares?
Oh, it's just fun.
I'm just saying, who gives a damn?
It's just fun, man.
I think it's a very exciting conversation to have that you are talking about the Detroit Lions in the same breath, going unit for unit. That's kind of funny, actually, with the NFC champs. Unit for unit, looking and seeing if you're better than the NFC champs.
100%. It is fun.
That's fun.
And it's dope. And it's interesting because you got to think about it like this. As I look back, the Lions almost beat the Eagles last year opening day. They were close in that game to a certain extent. Lions got much better as the season progressed. Guess who else got much better? So did the Eagles. So if they were to play, opening day again this year, it would be interesting. I would have to be honest. It would be interesting.
I think it would have gave them a better game than the 49ers did at that point.
Oh, yeah. Much better game. But, once again, these things happen fast. Like the Eagles may not be the same team. They lost some players. You just never know how things shake out, how things change. Lions might be a much better team this year. But it's interesting he says that. And it's comparable. And I think the fact that it's even comparable is the good part.
Let me ask you guys this about Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis didn't play much last year, in and out of the lineup. Do you feel that Jordan, who's the new Jordan here now?
Love?
No.
Jordan Davis?
Jordan Davis versus
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Gotcha.
You don't think he is the next Jordan Davis, do you? Is there a part of you that thinks that when it was this guy was going to be a sure thing?
No.
Right.
No, nobody was selecting Jordan Davis at number one.
Well, we loved him. I remember that.
We loved him, but nobody was selecting Jordan Davis at one.
But people were talking about two for sure. I definitely remember that at some point. They were talking about Jordan Davis. The only thing about Jordan Davis you got to think about like this.
Two big guys.
100% two big guys. And when he first got to Philly, they were talking about the diet. He was talking about how he changed his diet up because he's a big guy. Like he's a big dude.
I mean, we had Shawn Rodgers here. That's the only thing that sticks in my head.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles, here's how I view the situation. I view Nick Sirianni and I always forget, Howie Roseman. I think they're smart. I think they looked at the situation. Jordan may not be exactly ready right now, or maybe he is. But you know what? We want him just a little bit smaller. We want him, we want him to be healthy. We don't need him this year. We got Hargraves right here. We got Quinn right here. We got Hassan Reddick right here. We got University of Michigan. We got BG. We got Brandon Graham. We don't need to have him out there getting injured, destroying his confidence or whatever. We'll be okay next year. Same thing with Kobe Dean. We don't need Kobe this year. We got Edwards. Now watch Jordan Davis this year. I guarantee you they were building him the right way. Much different situation. Jameson Williams and ACL. The Lions took care of him. They protected him. They made sure he was right. Put him through the process. They eased him in slow. I think to an extent that's what they were doing with Jordan Davis, is protect him, make sure he's okay, because they didn't need him last year.